Hey there, gang. Welcome to Head Games. My name is Jetterex, and this week we're trying out something a little bit different. I'm going to be playing some Limited for y'all, and by that, of course, I mean we're playing the Premier Draft in Lorwyn Eclipsed, where we are drafting with other players in a best-of-1 format, building 40-card decks, and then battling to either get to 7 wins or 3 losses, whichever happens first. So before we head over to the draft, I'd like to invite you to please like, subscribe, leave comments down below. Let me know what you think about seeing videos in the Limited format, if there's something that you'd like to see more of, or something you're not interested at all. Either way, I'd very much like to hear from you. So leave those comments down below. Please remember to like and subscribe. And with that, thanks very much for tuning in. Let's head over to the draft. All right, friends and opponents, we are drafting Lorwyn Eclipsed. Here is our pack one, pick one. So Tam is an interesting card that is actually something of a protection piece. Target creature you control becomes all colors, and each other creature you control has hexproof from each of its colors, so it actually makes your stuff very hard to target. Doran is 3-color build around. What I like about Tam is that it is kind of a protection piece and actually lets you build around Vivid, which is a really powerful archetype if you get the cards for it. For example, you know, this one here has a Vivid thing that is really, really very powerful. So I haven't built that deck yet, so I don't know how easy it is to do, but I'm very curious to see if Tam can. Tam just frankly makes the rest of your board very difficult to deal with as well. So I do like green a lot. So you know, let's take Tam and see what we can make happen. All right, we're looking for Vivid cards, and I don't see any. So let's just open ourselves up now. That's very interesting. I didn't know this card existed. So this 1-mana Death Touch creature, you gain life when other creatures enter. I'm already probably in green. Like, I think Tam is going to end up putting us into green and whatever other colors that we need for Vivid. Puka's Eye might actually be worth thinking about, but I think in this case we're gonna take the Death Touch blocker that also gains us life. Okay, Lewin doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot, but let's keep ourselves open here. Looking at all the various different things we could pull here. Nothing Vivid based. Okay, so Lewin is again green and black. Mills cards and then puts a creature land from among the mill cards on top of your library. Then you can pay 5, discard a land card, make 1/1 black and green worm tokens for each land in your graveyard. Probably not great in Limited. Hovel Hurler is very fun, although I don't know that I'm in those colors. Gathering Stone really doesn't do anything for me either. This card is just good. Evolving Wilds is also good. Oh boy, running out of time. Taking the Evolving Wilds because I don't really see a card I want. So another thing that I have seen work, especially in sort of the Vivid build, is Tend the Sprigs. So Tend the Sprigs allows you to search a basic land out. Then if you control 7 or more lands and or tree folk, you make a tree folk. So it's a 3-mana 3/4 with reach that also digs a land out once you get to 7 or more lands or tree folk. I'm also very tempted to take Mika Attack here. I don't mind telling you, because I would like to build around this card in Standard. But we are trying to draft to win here. So I think Tend the Sprigs is probably my choice here. I love Meek Attack, but I'm going to take the card that works us in the direction that we're actually trying to go. Again, looking for Vivid payoffs. We don't see any currently. Grub's Command is an extraordinarily strong card if you are built around goblins. Gathering Stone, also very good if you are built around a specific creature type. At this point, I'm looking at this and thinking to myself, I'm probably taking the removal spell. Let's go with that. Removal spell it is. Okay, so Glisterbairn, Vivid payoff. And a solid one at that. Beginning a combat on your turn, another target creature gets +X/+X, where X is the number of different colors among permanents you control. So definitely an excellent payoff. We're also always going to incentivize getting 2-color cards so that we can get to the maximum amount of colors and get the payoffs that we want. But that's a pretty decent payoff here. Okay, no 2-color cards, no vivid payoff. So what's just the best card that we can take in our colors? We've got a 4/2 flash reach here. The 2 mana that makes your whole team bigger, which is actually really solid under the right circumstances. I do like the flash creature, but I think that I'm going to take the shield bearer here. We are essentially in green and white right now. Oh. So it seems like my wife is playing video games downstairs. We just heard the Xbox beep. So I think here the Surly Farrier is pretty solid. I've seen this card do pretty good work. Okay, so we got the other. What does this card actually do? 7 mana. When this creature enters, create X green and white Kithkin creatures, where X is the total number of colors among permanents you control. Tap 3 untapped creatures. This creature gets +3/+0 and gains flying, which you can do more than once. So this has the potential for 7 mana to put a whole bunch of stuff into play, and our choice has been made for us. That's okay. I'm tempted to take the Stoic Grove Guide here just because it is 2 colors. And they are the colors, one of them is the color that we're playing. Same thing here. I'm going to take the Spiral into Solitude just as, fairly unconditional removal. Wary Farmer is on color, and it is 2 colors. So, okay. We've got 4 colors represented here. Okay, so this Thoughtweft Lieutenant is very, very good. When this creature or another Kithkin you control enters, target creature gets +1/+1 and trample. So I can kind of accidentally go into Kithkin here, and I think that it is pretty solid because, again, we're already kind of accidentally in Kithkin. We've got a couple represented here, and that's a Kithkin spell technically. So this is pretty solid for our colors. None of the rares are really supporting what we're doing, so let's move in the Kithkin direction and see what we can do. So this 3 mana Kithkin Ranger, whenever another creature you control enters, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. We're also looking at Reese the Evermore up here in the corner. I'm not sure about Reese the Evermore. It's not a Kithkin, which I'm kind of sitting here thinking to myself, I'm not sure if that's important at this stage. But now that I have the Kithkin direction, is Reese better than this 3 mana 3/3 trample? It is kind of a combat trick. Ugh. All right, we're going to take Reese. Okay, now we've got a couple of different things that we're looking for. So this 4 mana Kithkin gives everything +1/+0, and then Kithkin also get first strike. It is solid in a Kithkin build. I'm going to say Kithkin 100 times. Please don't play drinking games based on how many times I say Kithkin today. So again, huge fan of this card. Huge fan of Fear.Core. I actually think that there's a good argument for choosing this over the 1-drop here. Because it counts. Because it counts as a Kithkin entering. I'm going to take the Fear.Core. I actually think it's that good. Okay, we've got a Shapeshifter. I don't think I want another one of these, but Thoughtweft Charge here is kind of a Kithkin card. It is +3/+3. If a creature entered, you also draw a card. So I really like that in this deck. Got another one of the 2 mana Pump Everything, which is a solid choice. I also really like this card, Unforgiving Aim. Destroys a creature with flying or an enchantment, or flashes in a 2/2 elf. But I think I'm just going to stay on brand here. There's another Unforgiving Aim. This doesn't equip when the thing enters. And then there's the 1 mana guy. Is that any good at all? I think I'm taking Unforgiving Aim here because it actually, you know, can do a couple of different things. This is just a creature. I also think there's a non-zero chance I see it again. At the beginning of your end step, if another creature entered the battlefield under your control. So I've already got one of these. Do I take the 5 mana root? This card is proven to be very good to me, and it goes in any kind of Typal synergy. So it's a 5 mana 3/3 flyer that exiles 2 cards from a graveyard and you gain 3 life. So is it better than this 3/3 for 3 that surveils every turn? Another one of the 4-drop. We will take another one of these. Did we not take this last time around? We did not. Okay, yep, we're taking Crossroads Watcher. We'll take the Flash Elf, but I don't think it makes the cut. Because if we can lean into Kithkin at this point, because we have Thoughtweft Lieutenant, you know, we started out thinking we were going to play Vivid, and really now we've moved into Selesnya Kithkin, and that might be what we end up playing. And that's drafting for you. Like, I had this very clear picture in my head of what I was going to do first. I said, let's take Tam, see if we can make a Vivid build work. And people just kept feeding me Kithkin cards. So here we are. I mean, I think there's a very real chance that we don't play with any of the non-Kithkins. I might still play with this, but maybe not. It is expensive. Okay, there's the 1 mana guy, came all the way back around. Well, the funny part is that I might still play with the elf here. Okay, we'll play with Appeal to Erdu. Oh man, look at this. Okay, Bristlebane Battler is a 2 mana 6/6 trample ward. It comes in with 5 -1/-1 counters, and whenever another creature you control enters, you remove a counter from it. So again, it's kind of a Kithkin payoff. And really, frankly, just a very solid card. So what am I looking at now? 16 and 7. I need some more interaction. I'm definitely taking the Battler here. So I think we can actually start moving away from Vivid. And I don't need to take everything out yet. I'm just kind of thinking ahead. Probably not going to play with this elf. Not really sure if I'm going to play with this very expensive elemental because I'm not playing with all the colors now. I still think Glister Baron is pretty good. Because if you've got the other two colors on the field, this is +3/+3. Okay. So I see a Blossoming Defense, which is fairly solid. I also see a Flock Imposter, which is, again, because it is a Kithkin, or because it is a shapeshifter, it counts, but it also rescues something from either a removal spell, or if it's been like, you know, if it's got a Spiral into Solitude or other pacifism type effect on it. And it's a flyer, which this deck does just not have a lot of. I do think Flock Imposter is the pick here. There's another Flock Imposter, another Tend to Sprigs. Otherwise, not looking at a lot of really useful things. And this is one of those moments where I'm like, gosh, I wish I had taken the spell because this is good. Now I have this other Flock Imposter. So being able to bounce some of the creatures that I have is actually quite valuable because there's a lot of like get creatures into play and have that be meaningful. So another Flock Imposter is not awful. Personify is very interesting. So Personify exiles a creature. Oh, it's just you control. Oh, you can't hit your opponent's creatures with this. This makes me like it less, but I still think it's quite good. Okay, Keep Out is a pretty strong hit this late in the game because we are kind of lacking with interaction. So I really am very happy to see Keep Out. Oh, that's my second one. Okay. Folks, that is a huge hit. Another Thoughtweft Lieutenant at this late stage in the game really makes this deck feel like it's going to do some work now. There's another Personify, but I'm not sure that I need or want that. I'm also not sure that I need or want another Wary Farmer, but we're gonna We're going to put that over here in the deck and see what we do afterwards. Whew. That second Thoughtweft Lieutenant was very, very strong. Okay, Bark of Doran. +1/+0. Assigns damage with toughness rather than power. So we've got a 3-mana lifelink here. It's probably the most useful card to take. I just don't think it's actually going to make the cut. Another Surly Farrier is definitely worth thinking about. Let's take that. Another where I think we've got our deck. Unless we get past something that's very, very strong. I think a couple of cuts and our deck does what we want it to. I don't think we play another 10 the Sprigs. I'm not entirely certain that we play one at all. Take this Tree Folk and last card. Okay, there's the deck. I like looking at it this way because you can kind of see the curve here, right? Like we've got a lot of really solid 2-drops. We've got a fair amount of 3-drops here. In the 4-drop spot, we just have this, kind of pseudo pump spell and the Appeal to Urdu, which is also a pump spell. 1 or 2 target creatures each gets +2/+1. I'm actually not even sure that makes the cut, but we're not going to think too much about that right now because let's focus on the cuts that we need to make. Do we actually need the Evolving Wilds in the deck? I think I'm going to leave it there because I think it just smooths out our color just a little bit. Let's look at we're at 19 and 9, so we definitely need to cut a fair handful of creatures, 4 or 5 creatures we need to cut. So looking at the top end, the $10,000 question is, do we keep this 5-mana Glister Baron in here? So at the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gets +X/+X, where X is the number of color or permanents you control, and really, in this deck with Glister Baron, it's going to probably be 2 or 3. So is a 5-mana 1/4 that gives one creature +2/+2 or +3/+3 good enough to really see the game through? And I think I'm going to make the argument that yes it is. It's very, very good. So I think that we leave that there and we look at the lower end to kind of work on stuff. So this elf down here that death touches but gains me a life whenever a creature I control enters, I'm still very incentivized to keep this as well. Yes, it's an elf and therefore not a Kithkin, but it's a Soul Sister. It gains us life and it trades with almost anything. So it's just a very solid card. Okay, so looking at our 2-drops, we've got Reese the Evermore, another elf in the deck that's going to give one of our creatures persist and then is maybe going to remove counters from a creature that we control. I actually am not hot on this in the deck. I can be honest, I'm not super hot on this, except that we've got several Flock Imposters, so it's entirely possible for us to use Reese and reuse Reese. So I'm more... I'm happier with this card knowing that I might be able to reuse it several times. So as far as 10 the Sprigs go, I actually have more than one copy of it as well. So if I don't have any other Tree Folk in the deck, I think I'm going to pull the 10 the Sprigs. Okay, and then now we can safely look at this and say we need to pull 4 creatures because now we're down to 8 spells. We pull 4 creatures, we're down to 15 creatures, and we're good to go at that point. So as far as our creatures go in the 2-drop spot, we're definitely keeping the Battler. We've got 2 Farriers and 2 Shield Bearers. We could probably just cut one of each of those, and that would be fairly solid. I think the other cuts are going to be a little bit harder. 1 Wary Farmer possibly. So let's take a Farrier and a Shield Bearer, and as much as I hate to say it after making all this noise about it, but I think the other answer is the Virulent Emissary. So there you go. There's our green and white Kithkin deck, a fair amount of Kithkin synergy here. The Bristlebane Battler is a really solid bomb. It's going to take a lot of early games, but really these Thoughtweft lieutenants that make things bigger as we go along is just a really, really excellent, especially with the Flock Imposters, being able to bounce things and then put them back into play. I don't have anything that brings multiple creatures into play, which also kind of makes me think about playing with that elemental, but unfortunately I just don't think it's quite good enough. But think about flashing in a Flock Imposter on our opponent's end step, picking up a Gallant Foul Knight with a Thoughtweft Lieutenant in play, then we play the Foul Knight, everything gets +1/+0 in first strike, and one thing gets an additional +1/+1 at trample. Seems like it's going to be fairly solid. So, okay, that is the deck. Let's take it out into the gameplay and see if we can get some wins with Selesnya Kithkin. Alright, game one with our draft deck. Let's see how we're doing. See, here's the Evolving Wilds. I don't hate that at all. We're not playing this on one, but I'm okay with that. So yeah, I mean, this is not an aggressive start, but we've got the mana for Unforgiving Aim. We can kind of slow roll the Gold Meadow Nomad. Our opponent has mulliganed their first time. Okay, we'll play an Evolving Wilds, and I'm not gonna be shy. Let's get this forest out here. Plains for our opponent. We'll play our own plains and get Gold Meadow Nomad down. Eclipsed Kithkin. See, this is what our deck is missing. This is what our deck is missing. They got a land. We will play our third land and get the Crossroad Watcher down. And we'll just say no attack. They're not going to block, and it's better for us to block their 2/1 with our 1/2 than it is to get a point of damage in. So we are in the mirror match. Gold Meadow Nomad for our opponent. This is just when another creature enters, too. That's nice. Okay, Feisty Spikeling is solid as well. All of the changelings are excellent in this format. They're all like kind of above curve. All right, we'll get the Bristlebane Battler down. So, do I attack here? I mean, I think the 3/3 is really solid. Like the 3/3 is giving us life, right? I'm gonna not attack. I don't think we're quite in a position that's good enough for us to attack. Our opponent is not just an avocado, but a supreme avocado. Okay. So everything gets +1/+0 in first strike. Yeah. Okay. 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 I really want to play Reese here, but it doesn't do me any good. I mean, I guess I just block one. I'm actually still really tempted to do it. Alright, we're going to give this thing persist. So when it dies, it comes back. And it triggers the Battler again. Okay. We're going to remove all the counters from the Battler. And we're going to get it. They're going to take 9. Okay. Do they have another Gallant Foul Knight? Okay, Mist Meadow Council for our opponent. Draws a card. So are we... We're not flashing. We're not casting Unforgiving Aim here, right? Boy, I don't love that. Yeah, alright. Thoughtweft. So that's a 5-4 now. I still, unfortunately, think I'm not going to be able to attack here. Alright, now we're at a bit of a standoff, unfortunately. And our opponent is kind of on the aggression, so... Pitiless Fist. Oh, that's very good for them. Yep. You know, I think I passed this card by a few times because I didn't realize what it did. It's very good for them. Yep. Okay. Gosh, I really wish I had a... Okay. Okay. That's the incorrect block, unfortunately. So this is 9-9, right? So this goes over that. Am I wrong? Okay. All right. They spent their energy. So I think we're okay now. Land for our opponent. We're gonna get aggressive. Yeah, no blocks there. We'll take 2. Okay. So I can't cast Glisterbaron. So I don't love that, but that's okay. We can cast Rooftop Percher. And we will take their creature and their permanent spell. And then from here, I think we get aggressive with the 4-3. And if they want to trade 4-3s, I'm okay with that. I don't think that's right. Why would you do that? Okay. They get their creature back. All right, we got there with the flyer. That's how you do it. All right, game 2. Selesnya Kithkin in Lorwyn Limited. Lorwyn Draft. All right, we are on the draw. We have a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and then a Flock Imposter. This is fine. No 1-drop for our opponent. We'll play Evolving Wilds and reveal our color to them. It's green. Surprise. Double green for our opponent. Surly Farrier. Okay, we'll get our Thoughtweft Lieutenant down. No. No blocks for us. And no play for our opponent. Okay. We will play Wary Farmer, give Thoughtweft Lieutenant the benefit, and I'm playing into a flash creature. Nope. Okay. Okay. Mono green so far for our opponent. That could mean land screw. It could mean that they are just playing green. Either of those things would make sense. The good news is we have Gallant Foul Knight here, so we get a free attack in. I didn't see any of these. Anyway. Alright. So we'll give this the bonus, and then everybody gets the bonus. See how impressive this start is? We want the Battler. This is really, in a lot of ways, kind of what we were looking for. Your guy gets Vigilant, no block from us. Okay. Alright, so we will play Bristlebane Battler. Oh, yeah. So they are color screwed. So we'll make the Foul Knight bigger. And get in for 4. Okay. No, I don't think I like that. We're gonna play Flock Imposter. So can I make it big enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I cannot. I can't make it big enough. I can make it big enough to kill them both. No, I'm gonna bounce it. We will leave that on top. Miss Meadow Council. So we actually get to play our land, play Gallant Foul Knight. Okay, so I think we put the +1/+1 on the flyer. Everybody gets it. And we get in. That's a lot of damage. Everybody's got first strike. It is showing. When we say math is for blockers, this is what we mean. Is that they are spending a lot of time trying to figure out. Do we just let it go? I feel like if I rip the Thoughtweft charge, I'm waiting. They have a combat trick. They have a trick. I'm like really trying to be patient here. They have a trick, and if they do anything other than destroy one of the unblocked creatures, okay. So these two creatures, so 4 and 3. So we put 3 more damage here, and that's the game. That'll do it. Game 3. Selesnya Kithkin. Start with both colors in hand. I think we can keep this. It's a little risky, but all I need to do is get that third land at some point in my first several draws. I do have something to kind of keep me in the game. You know, if somebody, you know, if they're getting in with the aggressor, I'm going to keep this. You can be a little bit riskier and limited, at least in my experience, so we'll start with the forest, see what our opponent is up to. We drew a Bristlebane Battler, which we are very much into. Whenever another creature enters. Okay, we would love to have drawn a third land, but a creature will do. Get in for 2. Okay. Now we just need a land, or frankly another 2-drop creature. We're okay with that. Brambleback Brute. We will... Hold on. Yep, we're gonna make it so the Brute can't attack or block, and we'll get in for 4. Still a very risky keep. 2 lands behind at this point. Yep. You got it. Still holding out those lands. Here's a 2-drop. This is why you play with a bunch of 2-drops, kids. Because it'll keep you in a game like this. 3 lands behind now. It was still correct. I stand by it. Double keep out. Very strong. We just pass. Like, listen. Statistically speaking, right? It's impossible to go this... It's not impossible, clearly, because it's happening. Must be possible. It's happening. But, you know, obviously... That guy's good. Sure. That guy can't block. 4 damage to that tapped creature. Folks, we have third land. Putting the pressure on. So, I'm a little on the fence here. Do I play Furdock so that I can play Gliss? I think that's right. I'm going to play the core. They haven't actually hit me yet. Rooftop Percher is a real good play for them. Gosh, that card is cool. See, this is how strong Rooftop Percher is. It is such a good card. See... Okay, we're going to get in with the Farrier. See, they probably won't block with the 3/3. I really want to take out the Flyer, is what I'm actually going for here. Okay, Champion of the Path. Does me 4 damage. It's a 7/3. When another elemental you control enters, deals damage equal to his power to each opponent. Oof. Card is so strong. Very good choice on their part. Excellent choice on their part. I have 4 mana. Can I sneak a win? I don't think so. I really don't. I wish I had drawn a land. The pump spell is interesting, but not very good. I don't think I can do anything. So if I attack here, the creatures are all bigger than mine. There's so many opportunities for me to just lose here. I honestly, like, I don't think I can attack. I need a 5th land before I can really start to do anything. Land for our opponent. Amazing. Amazing. Sunderflock completely ruins us. So good. So good. Ugh. Yeah, good game. They earned that one. Look at these two cards. That is wild. I'm not gonna bother. They can just have it. I can kill one of their creatures, but it doesn't matter. I still lose. It's a worthwhile loss as far as I'm concerned. Alright, on to game 5. Currently 3-1 with green and white Kithkin. This is fine. It's a lot of removal early in the game. Evolving Wild for our opponent. We will do the same. They're going to crack theirs in response to ours. I just think it's cringy. I do. Like, crack your Evolving Wilds on your own turn. Like, you're not actually getting that much information. The information you're getting is absolutely marginal. Shimmer Growth Wilds. Makes a land produce an extra color, and you get another. I am going to destroy that, because I can. I just feel like slowing them down. And we're drawing all lands. Let's go. 4 mana. Chitinous Graspling. More lands for us. We'll put a Spiral into Solitude on that, John. No 5 mana play? Come on. You got it. This deserves a lands, am I right? It was a good choice. I'm a big fan of this card, of Auntie's Sentence. I like it a lot. Okay, Eclipsed Elf. Hits an elf, not bad. Changeling Wayfinder, we're getting there. What's our biggest hit? They already took our flyer. I suppose the oof is fairly good here. More lands is terrible. Pass. This, folks, is when this is what it looks like when they skipped right past their. This is exciting gameplay. Top tier gameplay here. I mean, frankly, they probably have a better top end than us. The Foul Knight was a good hit. I'm not sure if they see the first strike. Graveshifter. Oh, very good. They didn't care. They just let it go. Okay. I love Graveshifter. Like, what a solid card. Counts as every creature type. Does what Gravedigger used to do. Excellent, excellent design. You got it. I don't need to exile the Chinius. Oh, if they could only see. If they could only see. This game. Pretty great. Oh, it's a Lord too. Oh, this is very good. This game belongs to them now. Yep. Yep. That gets bigger. You got it. I know I have to block it. I will take 5. If we draw another land, I am going to scoop. I'm just warning you in advance. They have 4 creatures on the board to our 1, and they're about to draw another one. See? Hexproof and indestructible is what the safe right does. I don't think I can get out of this. Yeah, I think we're done for. Morkan's, you know, Morkan's loyalist really, it does the thing. We're gonna say good game, y'all. That's it. They're so far ahead of us now. There's no way. So I was wrong in the last round. That wasn't game 5. This is game 5. I was 2-1, not 3-1. So now I am 2-2. Any game loss means that our time is over. So we are going to keep this hand. We're not going to play Gold Meadow Nomad on 1 because it makes the Bristlebane, because it triggers the Bristlebane and makes it a little makes it bigger. So that's what we're shooting for. We're going to get a forest from our Evolving Wilds, pass the turn to our opponent. They got Balthier and Fran over here. Very cool. Bristlebane Battler. They probably won't have a way to remove it super fast. I mean, if I was going to say, if we are lucky, we will also they will not play a 2-drop. Okay, now we get Gold Meadow Nomad. Bristlebane gets a little bigger. We can get in. Okay, so now we've got Appeal to Erdu here, and we also can attack with the Fear Dot Core if we want to. I like that a lot. So now I can play this. Bristlebane gets bigger. We are going to attack with our creatures. Knew the flash creature was coming. Just knew it. So unfortunately, that does not save the Bristlebane Battler from dying. Yep, we just have to let it go. I knew it. I knew I was going to run into that flash creature eventually. Alright, there's the Changeling. Okay. Feeling okay here. Activate the core. Attack with the 4/4. I probably should have activated Surly Farrier there. It didn't even occur to me that that was kind of an option. Okay. Kithkin for our opponent, and it finds another one. Very good for them. Sure. Okay, here we go. Well, our opponent has now stabilized, so we have no choice but to pass. Crossroads Watcher for our opponent. Another Crossroads Watcher for our opponent. Okay. We will play a land and pass the turn. Nothing but interaction in our hand. The good news is that I can probably deal with just about anything they try to do to us at this point. Okay, I actually rather like that. Wary Farmer, no attacks from us. Okay. Okay. We will attack with the Wary Farmer. We will play Rice the Evermore and give our Wary Farmer Persist. We'll take out their 2 blockers. Pass. We will surveil away a land. Oh, very good. This enters and gets a permanent back. Probably gets the Kithkin we just hit in combat. Yep, yep. Another Kithkin for our opponent. So they've got the... What's the word? They have the... And they've got Kinscare Sentry. Gosh, that card is cool. Sure. Wow. Value trains running for our opponent. Okay, so I'm interested to see if they have a response to this. I think I'm just going to take that. Oh, wow. Gonna remove the counter from the farmer. And say go. Not great. So, okay. Kinscare Sentry. When it attacks, you may put a creature card mana value X from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking, where X is the number of attacking creatures you control. So, they have to get a decent attack in order for this to work. And there's a very real chance that doing that ends up bad for them. They don't know what the last card in my hand is, but I pretty clearly sent the message that it's probably a combat trick. I'm more than a little confused by this. What do you have? Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't expect that. No blocks. You can have it. That's it, folks. 3 losses and we are done. So it's remarkable that we lost to decks that were just like ours, then just drew better than us. That's how the game works. All right, folks, so just for the wrap-up, we ended going 2-3 today. We had a really amazing start where we kicked off very strong, but just got run over by very similar decks, actually, several times. We did not have a lot of the kind of value-producing things like the 2-drop that gets more creatures, and other people were just outdrawing us. That's all there was to it. What we are lacking in this list is any kind of card draw. This is really a very straightforward removal spells and creatures kind of draft deck, and unfortunately that was not strong enough to hang with our opponents today. So I am still obviously a very big fan of this card. If you're in the colors, this is very good. And Bristlebane Battler, them getting us with that flash creature, and I knew it was possible and I didn't play around it. You just never know, and I think the best practice is to probably play as though they have it every time, but you also gotta get damage in. So it's just hard to make those choices. As I said earlier in the video, I don't consider myself particularly good at drafting or playing in the draft meta. I just end up making risky moves that ultimately work against me, like keeping two lands and then never drawing another land for the rest of the game. So several times I made choices that were risky and it ultimately resulted in me losing, although I may have lost anyway because I didn't have any of the value engines that our opponents seem to be playing with on a regular basis. So that's all for today. Thanks very much for tuning in. I'm very interested to hear if you all are interested in playing or seeing limited content. If that's something that is interesting to you or something that you want to see more of, please let us know in the comments. Please remember to like, subscribe, tell all your friends about Head Games. Thanks very much for tuning in, and remember, always take care of your head. Hey gang, thanks so much for tuning in. Click that subscribe button to support the channel, and check out our last video from Lorwyn Eclipsed Standard where we taught our opponents the power of summoning with Abzan Yuna.